Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the FreeSkate. My name is Ryan, and this is Jesse, and we are here to talk to you about the Grand Prix of Espoo.
The fact that you have to say my name like I didn't know my own name is an issue.
No, but listen, remember though, we have podcast listeners now. They can't see us.
Thank God, because I don't look very presentable.
That reminds us, if you are watching on YouTube, you can get us on Apple Podcast at the FreeSkate or on any podcast platform. So download and review us, rate us, please. And
No, don't rate us unless you think it's good, because that's embarrassing if it's.
That's
lower.
true. No, that's.
I mean, I think like I'm a bigger person that way, and I don't want to feel little.
You don't want to feel little. Okay. So we're going to talk about the Grand Prix of Espoo, which was in Finland this weekend. And you know what? I thought the Cup of China was a disaster. I think this one was more of a disaster.
Yeah, it wasn't the best
No.
quality.
No.
It wasn't the best competition. It was like, who's going to fall the most? And then somehow you can make up. So.
I felt like I was watching a Challenger Series event at times with like up and coming skaters.
I kind of felt like, if I like throw myself in this competition, I might get third. You know what I mean? Like, just don't.
That's honesty. I agree. And the way some of the judges marked, I mean, we might have had negative.
Did we even watch pairs? Because I definitely know.
I watched pairs. Jesse, you did not watch pairs.
Did you really watch anyone though?
What, pairs?
Yeah.
I watched the whole thing.
Oh, good for you, because I was like, that doesn't look appealing.
It was not very appealing.
I didn't think so. Well, why don't we start with that and or do you have your own schedule?
Yeah, so we're going to go off my schedule so I don't lose myself.
So I'm wrong again. So mark
iPad.
me 0 to 1. That's fine.
What?
Just mark me 0 to 1. That means I'm losing, you're winning. You're up 1-0.
Oh,
because I lost.
so 1-0. Usually lead with the 1, not 0 to 1.
That's okay.
You're special. Okay. So I found it very interesting. If you guys look, judge number 3 in the men's event, specifically the free skate, had very, very odd scores for the men, for their components. Judge number 3 is from France. She gave Kawamura and Shunsato, so the gold and silver medalists at this event, a 6.5 and a 6.75 in composition and presentation. In comparison, the Ukrainian dude, Ivan Shmaratko, got 6.25. You can't tell me that she thinks that they're only slightly different between Ivan and
Well, did they fall? Like, was there an issue?
Well, everyone was basically crap. But still, I mean, how did you get a 6? I don't know how they were judging. 6.5 to 6.75. That's something you would...
Oh, maybe they were judging the old scoring system out of a 6.0.
So
they're like, you know what? You were a little bit more than perfect, so we did 6.25. Thank you.
That's a good one.
Found it. Figured it out.
So, Kashiro Shimada, 5.25 and 5.00 for composition and presentation. Matteo Rizzo only got a 6.75. And it didn't get better going down to 12th place. She rated 12th place almost the same or there was some better in those lower tiered standings that actually were the same presentation and composition as the higher people. Like, so gold, silver, bronze, 3rd, 4th, 5th place were all similar to like 12th place. Super weird. Like, I don't know. I came to think, you know what, I just don't think she likes the men's skating. Honestly. She was consistent. She was consistent shitty at judging.
Well,
like, she was not impressed at all.
I consistently didn't like
She did rate Kevin's Bolero like really high though. I think like she gave him a 9.5.
Okay.
So that impressed him. Let's talk about his Bolero for a second. But I think his Bolero is stunning. It's so powerful. The choreography is so intricate and so emotional and so the way he performs it, I feels like he's got it. He has to reach the rafters on it, and he does. He explodes out of this building. It's absolutely insane. That choreography is second to none. I'm not usually a fan of people doing Bolero because if it's not done really, really, really well, there's almost no point in doing it because I think it really is a bummer to watch. But his program is so complex and he does it so good. and he's one of the only people that have done bolero since like Toro and Dean that I've actually been able to enjoy and watch and be like, oh wow, that was a really, really good skate. A few people have done it since then. Even now in the women's
Should I leave? It just seems like I'm just sitting here being a problem.
Oh, you mean so like I get to talk for once without you interrupting?
Well, that's why you want me here, so I can talk and lead the show by example. You know what I mean? But yeah, bolero, that's...
Manakwabi's bolero was very underwhelming, in my opinion. I wasn't super into it. Especially when you're in the same event and you're competing.
But I mean, it's a girl and a man, so it is a different situation.
What does it have to do with the bolero?
Because it's a different... First of all, because men and women are completely different on their own skills and techniques and everything else. Like,
a lady can do bolero fine if they know how to do it.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like the judges are not going, oh, I'm putting this versus this. If it's not by two ladies doing the same program.
No, I'm saying for
a
fan's point of view.
Oh,
like it's you.
I still, as a fan, I wouldn't compare them.
Well, I'm just saying.
Only because like they're not. They were both men doing it. Then I'd compare it. I'd be like, but.
Yeah. Anyways, so let's talk about women for a second. Amber Glenn moves up to win a bronze medal. She was
disaster.
11th. She was 11th
in the short
program. I think,
to be honest, there was not a lot of good in the short. No, let's just all be honest. Even Corey, like she didn't get as high as normal. So a lot of people are falling. A lot of people not getting their their marks because they under rotated and.
But Amber made up got a single. Amber's free skate, she only singled her triple axel attempt and she was pretty much flawless the rest of the time. So she moved up from 11th.
Can you guys tell I just want to be goofy right now?
She was second in the free, third overall. I try to think of like different events.
I did tell you, I was like, after Amber skated, I was like, she did so good that she might go up because the way people are falling, not being as good, and the competition wasn't as strong, so all she knew mentally, if I just skate
I could be wrong. I have to fact check myself, or somebody can fact check me. I am 90% sure that is the highest jump to medal in a figure skating event. I don't think anyone has jumped that many places to go onto the podium. Like, I know Nathan Chen in the 2018 Olympics, 17th after the short, he finished 5th. But that wasn't a medal. Grand Prix event, I can't remember anyone finishing second last in the short to win a medal.
But I mean, like I said though, but you have to understand, like that's two different things too, because hers is not a stiff competition where it's all the best. She wouldn't be doing that if like.
No, that's fair, but in general, when has somebody
but it's amazing because
gone to win a medal?
She told herself, if I do really well, and she didn't let her 51 hurt her. She said, you know what, I'm going to go out there into my long and do my best and give my best. And if I do my best, look what I can get. And then I said to you, puts the pressure on everyone else now because she's like, oh, I skated all green. I called the green because
she really did.
Check all those boxes green. Skated a green.
Yep. I mean, Sakamoto did win both segments, but she'll definitely want to have a much higher score than she did have at this event. But nonetheless, she did make the Grand Prix final, so that's a plus.
Yeah.
That's what I guess the goal was, but she's definitely not happy with what her scores were. She even had an under rotation. Speaking of under rotations, my God, there was an insane amount of under rotations. I think there was like 19 under rotation calls in the free skate alone between all the girls. That's a lot of under rotations.
I mean, you could have put me in there and I would have did the same thing. I'm just saying, like, I could under rotate if you guys need me to, so. I don't even know what that means.
What are you gonna under rotate?
Probably like my jump.
Like what kind of jump?
I go to Ryan. I'm like, Ryan, I still to this day do not. I know how an axle goes in. I still cannot figure out when a sound count is coming. When Alexa's coming, like they all look the same jump. It's like, oh, you gotta look at the edge. You gotta look at how they come down. Like my eyes cannot make that up. I'm just like, oh my God, did he make the triple? And it was a toe. Okay, triple toe. Got it. Good for you, girl.
Yeah, other than an axle.
Oh, she jumped another triple. Oh, it was a Let's. That's good. It just feels like to me we're just throwing a name after that triple. Like, no, we'll give it a Let's. We'll just pretend like that.
And here's me trying to be all professional and get up on the carpet and show him on like I'm on ice. Like he's going to know.
And I was like, I still don't. I never understand how to look for those things. I just won't do it. I know the axle, that's it, because it's a complete different, jump.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry. I'm being silly.
No, that was kind of funny. So Amber was the only one in the free skate to actually get no under rotations. She was fully rotated on every jump. Even her single was rotated. So I found this interesting. Judge number 4 in the ladies was the same as the third judge in the men's, and all of the ladies got a component score of over 7.0, with the exception of a few lower skaters. So that means that's why I said I think she's a man hater. Like who in her life messed her up that she doesn't like the men figure skating?
I'm not it.
What?
You said what man in her life messed her up? I said I'm not it.
Oh.
Wow. Your own joke you didn't even get.
No, I didn't get it.
I'm sorry. I need a coffee or something to get me going, or a chocolate, but we don't have time for that, but I'm just saying. Next time. Ugh, those are not good.
Icy squares? You guys like icy squares?
Terrible.
I love icy squares. They're so good. His grandma used to have them all the time.
I know. It's like, Grandma, can I get almonds in them?
Oh, you know what also is very grandma thing to have? A very Where are you going?
I'm going to get chocolate almonds.
Flat ass.
Baby, you cannot swear
Why?
in this thing.
Why?
Because you're on YouTube. You can't.
It doesn't matter.
No, it's monetized.
No, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. You're on YouTube.
Anyways, what did your grandma used to have? Or what's a very grandma candy to have? What are those hard things with the colors on them?
What?
Those candy ribbons?
Oh yeah.
Hard candy with those stretchy.
I don't know. But we're gonna
the all sorts. Those little beaded candies with the black licorice inside.
Ew. I'm over it. Right, anyway.
Okay, anyway, super off topic. Pairs, super rough event. The new German team won a gold medal in their first Grand Prix event. That's pretty insane. And I mean, they look like they have some talent, but I mean, I think for them winning gold, that's no offense to them, but that should not be a gold medal winning performance team in a Grand Prix event right now.
Go lay down. Lie down there, baby. Lie down nice.
He's talking to our dog in case you guys
No, I wasn't saying
need reference on the podcast.
I told them that while you were talking. I'm just in here. I said my dog's here, but that's fine.
Okay, cool.
Wow, you guys, okay, this is what you get with my show, remember? 2
ADHD people together?
No, it's because last week I told you guys I was kind of blah, and today I'm fired up, so.
You're
as fired up as I'm gonna get. Okay, go.
So the Chinese led after the short program, and they fell short of the podium. They actually were 4th in the free skate, I believe. That left the Hungarian team to actually win a medal by the slightest margin. And they basically did it on, I think they had a repeat element, which didn't very well for them because I don't think it counted or didn't count as much. And they also had an under rotation on their side-by-side triple jump at the beginning of the program. And so I think they only lost by a super small margin, so that definitely did them in. But for the Hungarian team, that's their second medal in their second Grand Prix event, so that's really surprising. I didn't have them pegged to... Are you awake?
Sorry, is this Paris? Is this Paris?
Jesus. Anyways, they need to have more time and experience together.
You guys, I'll be right back. I just need to take...
I do like the Hungarian team, though. Okay, for those of you who want to listen.
Or just fast forward because Jesse's going to bed.
I just wanted to send a little kudos to Macintosh and Mamar for finishing their free skate after that fall in the lift that they had.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
That was show me that. I was a little bit shocking. You know how hard it is to get up after a fall like that and finish a program with more lifts and more jumps in it? Her fall was cushioned by him a little bit.
Because I wonder if it gives you a mental edge of not an edge, but a mental thought of oh my god, I hope we don't fall again for the next lift. Because
absolutely.
It's in the back of your mind.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of this.
They finished that event as good as they could do for sure, and the mental battle that you as a skater take, and especially in a pairs program
Yeah.
with more lifts that you have to do and worried about getting your levels, and you don't want to fall because they've just fallen and she's got to keep herself up, and you might even be getting clammy because you're nervous again. That makes your skin slippery. Like there's so many things come into play after that. So good for them for actually finishing. They got up so fast. They finished their program, and that was really, really, really nice to see. Ice dance. Really, really, really good battle. Super close between the Canadians and Chalk and Bates. So Lawrence Foney Baudry, Nikolai Sorensen, and Mass Chalk and Evan Bates. The free skate was only a difference of 0.15. So that gap has closed significantly over the last season or two between Chalk and Bates and the rest of the field. So it's not a given.
But they didn't get their levels, so that's kind of probably why. Like
a lot of their levels were high.
What is it called? Like your step. Like when they get a 3, not a 4.
You know what? So I actually have in my notes here. So the free skate was only won by 0.15. The Canadians did beat them technically, actually, but they lost a tad in PCS. The Twizzles and the rhythm dance, they scored the exact same score on, including GOE. So they got the exact same score for that, both level 4. So the biggest difference was their step sequence. Both were level 4 for Chalk and Bates, and it was a level 4 and a level 2 for the Canadians. So that base value and GOE was a 1.69 point difference in that. And that was a major I guess it's not an error, but that's a turning point in such a close battle. A 1.69 difference in one element when you are almost tied is gonna be a lot.
I still love them.
Yeah, I think they're really good.
Because to me, like when I watch them, like again in this competition, I was like, do you guys see out there like when they do skate, like everything they do is to the beat, to the music, to the like. It's, you know what, like I was saying to Ryan, like in ice dance, there's only so much we can do that's going to be different, you know, like, because everything has been done. Like, it's so hard to keep upping. So now it comes to the point where pick the right song, and then you got to be able to, when you're doing the right song, can you integrate like your moves, your like whatever you're portraying to that, and they do it so good that way to everything. Like the part where the guitar is, I think that's the short, right? With the guitar, yeah, because it's in the 80s. Like he puts her up. Like, do you know? Have you guys ever seen in a rock band like they'll put their guitar with their string and it goes around their neck and they're like woo, right? It's swinging around them. He's basically using her as a guitar going around the neck. I'm like, what an amazing, smart idea. And it just works. It fits. I'm like, that's where I'm saying the smartness comes from and why they're ahead of the field. Because when you can do that, because again, like you can't keep having new things that no one's ever seen. You're going to repeat eventually. But where do you put it? How do you use it to your, strengths of your performance or of your, obviously your program?
I'm glad you mentioned music selection. Choose the right music, because I have something to say about the music.
It's the biggest thing I think in figure skating. I always, I've said this previous years, but I said it again. It's like some people, like you watch them skate and they don't have the music that you're like, really?
I agree.
That's the song you're like. When I'm being a competitor out there, I want to make sure my song is the first thing. First, before anything, I want it to feel winning, award winning, feeling like it's dominant, feeling like oh, people really get into this. You want people to get sucked in, bought in, especially judges. But if the people are, the judges are going to be too, right? So it's like you can't, like, I see somebody like come out there, it's like some like remix song of like Christina Aguilera. Like, do you really think that's the, like, where's that captivating me though?
Okay,
yes.
I'm going to pause you for 1 second so I'm going to finish the sentence, and we're going to get to that, because that's a lot to say right now, and I have a big thing written down for this of what you're getting into. I was going to say, so coming into the Grand Prix final, I mean, you have 3 Canadian teams, the Italians, the Americans. You have a serious battle on your hands for every medal position. There are 4 teams who can win a gold medal. And then going into Worlds too in Montreal. Yeah. That ice dance is probably going to be one of the best events of the whole thing. I think ice dance is so strong right now. You have so many close competitors that are so good, and they have closed the gap
It's going to come down your levels.
Absolutely. It's 100% going to come down to your levels and your twizzles. 100%. And yeah, GOEs, you have to do them good. Because
it was like when we had the Americans versus the Canadians, you know? It was like they were so close.
Or Tessa and Scott. And
or the French, too.
Yeah.
It was so close that it's like you couldn't.
Well, I think Tessa and Scott and the French team still, if they were to compete against this field, would still distance themselves a little bit. However, for right now and what we're seeing against, they're so entertaining. Mm-hmm. And you throw in the British pair, too. The British pair is going to be there. They are so unique and so charismatic and so likable. They don't always have the levels and the tech scores to push into maybe like a world gold medal position, but they are going to push those teams to do their best for sure. So music selection. So you were talking about doing a remix of like Christina Aguilera and stuff like that. So the worst example of a music selection that's like the worst choice ever was when the Russian pair team Trasova and Morozov did Candyman.
Yeah,
remember that? See? Like that was, I would love to know who was part of their team and was like, you know what would be really good for you? You know, you guys are really great at classical music and you're really good at
but I don't think it's that. That is not a song that sounds winning. You want something that can sometimes crescendo to slow.
I agree.
Build you up at
the end,
But you need
something that suits your style too. That Russian pairs team was not that. I wouldn't even have them do it in a show. Never mind.
But I'm not even. I'm just specifically talking. It doesn't matter who it is. I'm saying, it doesn't matter what strengths are. The song, whoever it is, has to sound award winning. It has to feel like it's like a Cynthia. It has to feel big and bold and just like courageous. Some of these songs are like,
if you can handle that, you have to be able to handle it.
Right.
You can't make a song like that
throwing in
and not
remix
have that
songs
power.
Isn't winning. Like that's not helping.
Generally not. No.
Or throwing in like just like me, like, you know, like, okay, like we could take example like a Celine Dion, like Titanic. See, that's a song that feels big. It crescendos, it gets bigger and bolder. Yeah. It tells a big story, but like things like that. That's how you win.
That's somebody.
That's just one example.
The person who needs to choose that though is somebody who has that power and that can build through the.
But you know what? Like even if you can't fulfill it all, it's still gonna make you look bigger on the ice and better on the ice.
No, I don't necessarily agree.
Yes, because it sucks you into.
No, because if you can't keep up to that music, you look stupid doing it.
I know, but most of these people can keep up to it.
No,
it's just
that's not true. There are, especially this year, there are skaters on the circuit that you're like, you have such a powerful piece of music and they're barely.
Okay, so here's my example. So say take somebody who's like, just coming into their own whatever, right? You give them either Titanic or you give them freaking Candyman. You're telling me that there's a difference. You're going to tell me, stick to Candyman because, you want the song that's going to also suck somebody in. If you can suck them in just even a tiny bit, 10% more than you would that song because you're going, this looks like
But you're not giving them a choice.
This looks like it came out of practice. And this song actually feels almost like, I remember some people doing a bigger song than they could, but it made you feel like like some people did Adele, like My Hometown, stuff like that. Like another song that builds up, it makes you feel emotion, right?
Yeah.
It's emotion. And if you don't have emotion behind that song, it also helps. Like music is therapy.
You need to
that also
play to your strengths.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. No matter what, you have to have a good song. You have to have a good song. I don't care if you compete at all, if you can fill it or not. You still have to have the song. You might not be the best at it, but you need the song because you need everyone to feel it. You want emotion from the people watching you.
I agree.
You just disagree. Now you agree.
No, I agree with that, but I disagreed with what you said about.
But
even if you can't keep up with it, no.
But I just said that. Now
there are other songs that you need to consider. It's not just between two songs.
I never said that. I said those are my examples. There's lots of songs like that.
Candyman or Titanic.
No, but I'm saying the difference of a genre, the difference of a song. Those melodies are complete different things.
Yeah, no.
They mean complete different stuff, right? Like, so what I'm saying is when you take a good song, it doesn't matter where it is.
The rhythm dance, Fear and Gibson are doing Rocky. there are not very many dance teams that can pull off that.
Yeah.
They are one of those teams that can pull off that.
I was talking about like men and women too, not just ice dance.
I
was talking more like men and women, like
no, I agree.
Because they're singular where they like all the attention's on you.
I agree.
Right. But anyway, that's just my little spiel. I don't know. Like, do you guys agree on it?
Well, I think Macintosh and Lamar's music also, the Canadian pair team that was at the event here, it's very underwhelming. I feel like are too junior looking to do that piece of music justice. So when I'm watching that, I'm like, oh, it doesn't suit you. And that kind of irks me. And I think that also has a lot to do with PCS scores too. If that music isn't hitting the judge or you're not skating to it properly, your marks are automatically going to be lower. I can guarantee you that.
Okay, and then suck them in with a song that makes no sense and doesn't have fun and doesn't
that's what I'm saying. You have to choose the correct song for your ability.
No, but I'm saying it doesn't matter because if that ability is less and the song is less and that song isn't enough though to make a judge at least feel emotion or the fans out there watching you feel emotion, you're not getting sucked in no matter what. So the song has to have emotion.
I feel like if you are...
Well, same thing. The music needs emotion.
At least keep up to the pace of the song.
In figure skating, it needs emotion, period. If you are going for an 80s song, you're not playing frickin', a sad ballad where you're crying, right? Obviously, no. You're picking an upbeat thing that's like, gets you into the groove and blah, blah. And it's like, woo! And then when it comes to your long, it's all about the draw, the emotion. But not everybody is obviously casted to be the best as a performer. But when you have a song, it's still gonna grab more. And as a performer or as a competitor, when you have a song with a lot more emotion, you're gonna feel it more as a skater. And you'll probably put in 10% more in than you probably would in another song because it draws you in, your heart, everything. You feel that. Whatever it is, it could be any really good song. As long as the crescendo, I always say, starts and it builds right to the end. And it gives you that power, that emotion. And that's what figure skating is about because like when it comes to these like songs that just mean nothing and you're just like, you could put the best person in the world doing it and you're like, this sucks. It's boring. It's not good. It has no meaning behind it. And that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like the song has to start first and it's got to have the emotion and the feeling like that's an award-winning song. You got to have that ear though. You got to know that. That's the one thing I always look at.
You have to have a really good choreographer too.
Yep.
That person choreographing that music needs to know your strengths and do your program justice.
Like, I'm sorry, we're not putting Hannu, one of the best skaters ever. You're gonna put Britney bitch on there? Or what's it called? It's Britney bitch. Dude, give me more. Like, but it's like, really? Is anyone feeling that? Is anyone gonna get behind Hannu doing that?
That's about as stupid as the Russians.
But that's what I'm saying. So even the best in the world,
I'm sure there's somebody out there that
matters about music. Right? Good. Next, because I'm right, you're wrong. And let's go. It's 2-1 Justin. I just gave myself 2 points. Thank you.
What? Okay, well, I got nothing else to say.
Okay, perfect.
That's how we ended. Kevin Amos ended up actually with a medal, which was...
who won again?
Which was shocking. It was...
I thought I watched it.
Kalmura.
Huh? That's who won?
Yes.
I did not watch the man, then you guys.
And Shinsato.
Yeah, I didn't watch the man. Okay, well, I didn't watch it.
Kevin moved up to win after that.
You guys, honestly, I looked at that.
Program.
I looked at the entries and I was like, Ryan.
It was hard to watch, honestly. A lot of the
Hopefully, Cup of China.
Poor Jimmy Ma, for third after the short, and he just bombed his. He pulled a reverse Amber Glenn.
Yeah, well,
literally.
That's what it is. But okay, you guys. Like, I hope you guys honestly enjoyed our show. Like, I tried to be a little bit more just. And, we sprinkled in with that. But you know what? Like, give us your takes. What do you think?
Yeah, comment. You can email us at thefreeskate@gmail.com. You can comment on our YouTube video.
What's your Twitter handle that they can maybe find
I have now changed my Twitter handle to FreeSkate, so you can search me on there. Okay. And also...
I don't want you guys to search me, because you know what? I don't want to fight.
Apple Podcasts and anywhere you get podcasts, search FreeSkate. Download our episodes, subscribe to us how you can, and let's keep this ball rolling. And the next competition is NHK Trophy, and...
We love that.
We love it. We love
So
Japan.
you guys enjoy your
We love
guys'
Japanese fans.
night. Enjoy yourselves, because I gotta press stop on this video. So thank you.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye.